Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I thought I'd do something a little different. Thought I'd show everybody how I do my home brew pest control tea. You can do this a couple different ways. You could do this if you don't have all these ingredients. You can do it with just garlic, rosemary, and lemon. Those work pretty good. We're going to take it a couple steps further today just to kind of go all out for the video. And yes, I do use this. When you're applying this tea, once we're done, just remember not to apply it to flowers. That goes out for outside too. Because of bees and stuff like that. You don't want to, deter any of that stuff. So just to get started, I've already took the liberty of chopping up some stuff here. We have red onions. Use another onion if you have it. I got some fresh garlic and I minced my garlic by hand. To do that, you'll need one of these garlic presses. I'll show you how I do that here in a second. And also, I have zested a lemon. I'm not after the lemon juice. I'm after the oils that are inside the rind or the skin on this lemon. So, a couple different tools you could use. Is a zester right here that will work, or to make it real simple, one of these. This is a very small grater, and essentially that's zest. That's one zested lemon right there, and this is what it looks like. It looks like a potato, but you'll see. You're just after that, the outside oils within the skin right here. So let's go ahead and just kind of show you a little bit, kind of get you started, and then I'll just bring this water to a boil here pretty soon. So what I'm going to do is let's just start with the garlic. I choose to use fresh garlic because it's just better. It's just, to me, it stinks more. It's got more oil inside of the garlic. You can use that pre-minced stuff that you buy in a jar. Okay. So what you're going to do is you break this apart. I'll show you how you get the little clove out of here. And how I go about pressing this through my press. Oh, got a clove over there. There we go. Okay. So, first of all, after you break it, you're going to want to get rid of the shell. Okay, the way to do that is you take a knife or a flat edge of something, you just kind of crush it a little bit. You don't have to go crazy. You're not trying to annihilate it. And you just peel it off. Otherwise, you're not getting that off, and that's what you're aiming for right there. And you could feel the oils inside this garlic. So we're just gonna put it there. Do a couple more, and then we'll move on to something else. Okay. I usually like to do this. Crush them all. I'm going to use, for this recipe, I'm using a gallon, 5 quarts, or 5 liters. 5 liters. Reverse osmosis water. It's just a general recipe. There's no, I don't have like how many ounces. I just kind of use 2 whole cloves here. Okay. Once you can hear it crush, you can just rip this shell off. It's a little tedious, but well worth the efforts in the end. Once you get rid of those pesky little fruit flies or gnats, whatever you got floating around, it's really good for deterring aphids around the root zone too, especially on the pot. The whole purpose of this is just extract the oils from these materials here, and they use that to deter the pests as opposed to using chemicals. Obviously, we're not spraying this on our flowers, but it's always best just to keep everything natural. Plus, this is way better than 99.9% of those pest control products that they sell at the Hydro Pawn Shop. You can make your own right here. And not only am I, doing this myself for like, I don't know, this probably cost, what is a lemon and an onion and a clove of garlic? Probably $5 and some of your time. So, for that. Maybe I'll speed this up. I don't know. Maybe you guys enjoy me crushing and peeling garlic. The garlic is probably the most tedious part of this, because obviously it's messy. It's just a little pain in the butt. So I'm gonna rip this shell off, just like that. And this is it's rewarding in the end, because like I just said, I'm making 5 quarts of homemade pest control tea, and I'm not paying $30 a quart for it. It's just very simple to make yourself. Okay. I can almost certainly guarantee you that all those products on the shelf at the store contain these ingredients. But only in this case, you are getting fresh and the best, because you made it yourself and you went to the produce department and you picked all this stuff fresh. So this is 1 whole clove right here, 1 whole bushel. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my press, and it is really, really sticky. And the oils to this process, the oils that you're getting from this process is what you're after. And put 1 in there, 1 clove. You're just gonna keep going. I take that, put it back, put it in a clove. It's gonna get sticky. It's messy. Whatever pops up on the back end, I just wipe up with my fingers, put it back in the press, and oh gosh, wow, I've had this thing for about 12 years, and I just broke it on camera with you guys. Okay. Anyway, yep, I can still use it. Let's see. It's probably not safe. Wow, I can't believe I just broke that on camera with you guys. Okay. But that's the way it goes. A lot of it's going to come up on that back end. Next, you just grab it and keep pressing it through. The garlic is by far the most tedious chore of this project. Hope everybody's having a blessed day out there. I am just loving life lately. Life is truly, truly amazing. And I'm not talking about YouTube life. Okay. After you're done with this, you're going to want to wash your hands really well. Do not touch your face. There's a little trap. You have to push that back down every time. But do not rub your face. You should probably be wearing gloves. I'm just quite shocked that I broke my press on camera. It's all good. Gives me a reason to go to Amazon and buy a new one and have it delivered tomorrow. A better one. Probably one that works much faster. Maybe it's electric, runs on batteries. Who knows what they got out there these days? Maybe this is just really old-fashioned what I'm doing right now. I don't know. And then I'm going to show you how I zest the lemon. So you can just see I just basically, crushed, minced this entire garlic knot, garlic clove of garlic. Okay. I'm sure I'll be corrected out there. Okay, so I'm gonna take that, just kind of get that excess off. Now you're done with this tool. and wash my hands. Sweep this in the garbage. Keep your hands clean. Trust me, you don't want to touch your face or anything. So, jalapeno. Again, you're just making a tea. So in this case, I'm going to just go through chopped coins. Okay. I'm going to chop them in half. I'm not a chef, so I have poor knife mannerisms. Don't kill me in the comment section, guys. Okay. So I've already took the liberty of doing one. I'm just laying out the dishes for everything. Here, definitely, I'm just going to use a knife. Okay. Or you could just throw all this right into your vat right now if you wanted to. But I'm trying to show you roughly about what I do for about every 5 liters. So I've chopped up half of a red onion, 2 whole cloves of garlic. It's so sticky. The oils are just good. We got 2 jalapenos, and I'm gonna show you how I mince, zest. And essentially it comes out looking like a raggedy, some putrid potato or something in the end. So start with this, and we're gonna end up with that. And you can see it just peeling off that rind right there. You can hear it. It's just after. So many essential oils in this. Once we're done, you have created the best pest control spraying solution that is available, organically to human mankind. It's not rocket science. If you guys want to add other things in there, you can. I have added radishes before. Radishes are good. That worked. And I actually bought some of those for this video, but I left them out on the counter and an accident, and came back the next day and they were no good. So we'll be adding some other things on top of this. We're going to add a little bit of neem oil. Not a lot, just a little bit. See? Now we're going to go for the top. Just kind of do this. So how's your day going, guys? Let me know in the comment section. And if you got something additional, some additional advice that you could add to this process, then by all means leave it in the comment section below. Okay. Doesn't take long, not nearly as long as it did that garlic. It's not nearly as messy either. But I am, watch your fingers, okay? You don't want to actually slip and knuckle yourself right there, so. Which is what I almost just did. Glad I caught that. Now, I make this tea about, I don't know, a few times a year, about at least four times a year. I've never shared the process on, it's done. So now we're just left with a juicy lemon. So that's it. Now I'm going to Wash my hands again. All right, so we're gonna bring the water to a boil, like so. It boils faster if you start with the lid. I need enough room in there. I overfilled this thing. All right. You can always add some water back, but this is reverse osmosis water, and all right, besides the garlic. There we go. Get rid of all that. Bump it back up, the heat. Add the jalapenos and rosemary. Didn't go over that yet. I can't find fresh rosemary, so dry rosemary is going to have to be it for this video. They didn't have that in my store. Otherwise, I would have gotten that. They seem to be out of a lot of stuff in the shelves recently. Okay. Oh, almost forgot. Lemon zest. Do not forget the lemon zest. That is very important. Give this a stir, mix everything up. We'll bring it to a boil. I'd say give it about 15 minutes. Let's let it simmer. All right. Check in on it a little bit. See how it's going. I'm going to tell you right now, the smell, the actual smell, is really, really intense. So you can see how I have my vent fan pulling a lot of this out. It's going to take a little bit for that rosemary to kind of sink in and extract what we want from that, because it was like a dry form. I wish I could have gotten the fresh form, but that was it. That's what we got. And you could see all the oil is already starting to make the way to the top. Continue to let it simmer. All right, there we go. So you can see that everything has gone to the bottom, and it's completely brewed at this time. The reason why I simmer with the lid on is because two reasons: is to prevent evaporation, also to prevent a lot of the stuff to going into the air in your house while you are brewing this, because let me remind you that this is extremely strong. And I know we're making 5 quarts, but you can also add water to this, which I do, because essentially this is a concentrated form. Okay, and we could add reverse osmosis water to this and dilute it down a little bit. All right, so I got my fans on high on my stove here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my bowl that I have here, okay? And what I have is a large 5-quart bowl. It's deep. It's a baking bowl, and I'm going to filter everything down into here. And it is a 2-step process. I start with all the larger materials. I'll show you the screen. You can see how this screen is more, the holes are larger. And then after we get the initial screening out, I come back with a finer screen. You can see the mesh on that is pretty fine. And now you don't want to be picking this up with just your hands. Okay. In fact, I'm just going to do this with a little bit of it. It is hot. And then I'm going to pick the whole pot up in a second. And you can see we're just straining out the ingredients. All you really want is the water. Don't forget to turn your stove off. Okay. Okay, there we go. Go ahead and set this off to the side. Over another cup and let it finish draining like that, as you can see. and I am going to clean this initial pot. Get rid of this over here. Got some of that. Now mind you, this is still hot. Don't go touching it with your hands, okay? Just make sure everything is cool. Make sure your stove is off and you're paying attention, which sometimes I neglect to do. So what I'm doing, the reason why I cleaned this pot here, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it out again. Is you're filtering it with the large screen first, okay, to remove all those large particles, particulates, because that stuff cannot make it through the spray bottle. It will clog your spray bottle, okay? The only thing you want is that liquid and the oils. You don't want any of the ingredients in your final product. So now I'm gonna rest this over here. I'll go like that. And I'm gonna pick this bowl up and just do the same thing that I did with the first one. Now this screen will filter even more out. I'm going to show you what we're kind of left in the bottom of the pan right there. Let me get you in closer. You can see that. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Rinse this bowl out. Okay, I've rinsed that bowl out, and I'll show you what the finer screen captured. And it gets even better. We're going to take it one step further. Okay, you can see all that really fine. They sell several different grades of cheesecloth. We have one from just your big box store. You can see the quality of that one. And then one you get off Amazon, which is what I prefer to use, and it comes in yards, and it looks like that. This is what we're going to use. Okay, so I cut myself off a section of this. Just going to rinse the screen out again. This is a back and forth process of keeping things really clean and just screening the material. And I am do it like that. Okay. Lay it like that. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Going to rinse this cheesecloth out. Got it rinsed out. Now cheesecloth is reusable. You just gotta rinse it out and kind of keep it for the same purpose that you do. One more back into the original pot. I doubled up the cheesecloth. Just pour nice and slow. And this will be the final straining and filtering of your super duper pest control solution. Boom. Right there. Portion this off and store it in the freezer. I'll freeze it in back bags, like so. Or if you got hard containers, you can do it like that too. That's for long term. If you're going to be using all this, within a week or two, you go ahead and keep it in the refrigerator. Now remember, there are no preservatives to keep this, so this does have a shelf life even in the refrigerator. So if you want to use it as needed, I suggest freezing portions of it and then withdrawing those portions to go ahead and using is a pump sprayer, half a gallon hand pump sprayer. If you don't have one of these or can't find one of these, the next best thing to use is spray this. Now this is not brand new. I've used it before for this, but this has never had cleaning detergents or anything else in it. I've only run pest control solutions through this. Prior to you using this, I'll dilute this to about 50-50. So you're going to want to dilute it with some reverse osmosis water for half a gallon, guys. This is my ratio for a half a gallon. So 1 teaspoon of dish soap. The Dawn dish soap acts as like a surfactant, an emulsifier, if you will. And what it does is it helps stabilize the water and the spray and the oils of your tea that you've made here together. And on top of that, it also has a beneficial part to it. The bugs just do not like Dawn dish soap. They also do not like neem oil. So that is the last step that you would go to making this tea. Or you could just go ahead and spray this all by itself. But I always add a 1/4 teaspoon of neem oil and a tiny bit of Dawn dish soap just to help, bind everything together properly. And trust me when I say the gnats or fungus gnats do not like this stuff. This is far superior to anything that you could buy organic, in my honest opinion. This is my personal honest opinion. I just don't believe that you can create anything better. Make it yourself and do it right, guys. All right, HygroHybrid. This is my personal pest control organic recipe, and I hope you guys get something from it. I know it's a long video, but it is quite a lengthy process. I know a lot of you guys might be like not domesticated, so you might not have these pots or these strainers, but just remember that I've collected this stuff like over the years, and I go to like cooking stores specifically to buy some of this stuff. Some of it I picked up at Walmart, and just here and there. I always keep an eye open for certain products that I know that I could use. So, but the strainers, I did pick these up at a cooking supply store, and that worked out great. And I've had these for over a decade. The cheesecloth, again, there are 2 different types, and I'm going to rinse this, and I'm going to put it in, dry it out, put it in a bag, and reuse it again, and for the same purpose. And I'll go ahead and apply this to my plants. You can apply this to the pots, around the pots, to the top of the soil. You do not want to drench your plants with this. You drench the soil, no soil drenching. A fine mist coming out of this bottle is essentially what you're looking for, and this thing sprays super fine, so that's why I use this. It's quick and easy. You can use this tea for all house plants. Just remember, again, I'll say it like I said in the beginning of the video, do not add this stuff to your flowers. This is only to be used either like on the misting it on top of the soil as a preventative during flower, or around the pots to deter bugs from dwelling into the soil, or in a vegetative state on the plants themselves. So if your plants are in a vegetative state and they do not have flowers, it's completely good to go ahead and add this to the plants. But if they're in flower, don't add it to the leaves or the flowers. All right, guys, even outside, you don't want to add it to the leaves or the flowers if you got a bunch of flowers on your plants. I use it on my plum tree, my cherry trees, my pear tree, my orange trees. Kind of just use it on everything, especially this time of the year when it is spring and all the bugs are out just chewing up your stuff. So it works really well. All right, guys, HygroHybrid. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Woo! All right. So this is how I store it. Right now I'm just going to use this plastic jug. I am going to dilute this and use it in my outdoor garden as well as my indoor garden. All right, there you have it, guys. 1 gallon. That essentially is 2 gallons of the most concentrated pest control solution that is organic that you will ever find. The next video, I'm going to show you guys how I mix it, and I'll keep those videos separate. Stay tuned.